Hey guys, this is Leo.
And this is D from Big Time Super Friends.
And we're reviewing...
X-Men Origins.
Fuck. Guys, we've reviewed X-Men 1 through 3, First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. They're in the links in the description below. Check those out. Alright, D, this is a monumental task. Talking about fucking X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Tell me about it.
I mean, what are your thoughts, man? Let's just start there. What are your thoughts on this movie?
Well, right off the bat, we're introduced to a young Wolverine and Sabretooth, and they're together as young children, and they go through a traumatic incident. And basically they end up running away, and they end up going on little adventures. They end up going and joining the military, and they end up being a part of a lot of the monumental wars that happen in America today. Which
is actually a cool montage. It's during the credit scene. You would think that a little backstory with the relationship between Logan and Sabretooth is actually warranted. I mean, as comic book fans, right?
Yes.
We know that there's a history between these two characters. And when you hear about a movie about single-handedly one of the coolest X-Men or even Marvel characters to date, Wolverine, you think a badass movie where his fighting ability and his healing factor will take center stage, and this cool character of Sabretooth, who we know little about, and you think that because of this movie they're gonna reveal something about this character that you've never seen before that is gonna make you like these characters, but they drop
just kind of half-assed.
They fuck it up. They drop the ball really bad. I mean, what's the plot? Do we even know what the fucking plot is?
Not really. You just basically from there.
It's true, guys. I mean, it's hard to talk about. I mean,
from there you basically see Sabretooth start getting a little bit extra more aggressive in their missions. Wolverine's not liking that. He starts to take it out on some innocent villagers and basically decides to call it quits. And he's like, I'm not having none of this.
And that's fine. You know, he leaves the team because of differences in values, right? Obviously, he doesn't see innocent people the same as Sabretooth does. He sees... Right. Sabretooth clearly sees him as just something in his way, and he will do anything to reach his objective. Whereas Wolverine has some sort of humanity, and it's shown in the relationship with his wife. And as that part starts, you think it's something normal, but there's a little twist to it.
Yeah, there's a little twist to it. She's actually killed off at this point. Sabretooth comes and in a hope of attempt to try to get Wolverine back recruited into doing the mercenary work that they were doing before.
With Stryker, right?
Yeah, with Stryker.
William Stryker. Which
it actually does end up happening. He ends up getting Wolverine over there.
Which is crazy. Yeah. Because you think that obviously he's staying away because of his principles, but somehow he gets pulled back into the fold.
And his first mission ends up, unbeknownst to him, having to be to retrieve the element of the adamantium from Africa.
Which is sort of a cool scene. This is one of the cool scenes in the movie, is the battle when they go up the elevator shaft. Deadpool has that witty banter that everyone enjoyed for that moment in the movie. And then we see them fighting. Everybody in this team is fighting a room full of guys with guns. And
yeah, you got John Wraith on there, a guy who is really good with some guns and can teleport. You have Sabretooth, of course. You got Wolverine. And you have another character. I can't think of off the top of his head. Blob shows up.
The Blob, that's right.
Did you just call me Blob?
Blob.
But yeah, it's a really cool team you end up having right there.
Look, and Deadpool. And on paper, this seems like a cool mercenary squad.
Team X.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see this. I'm excited when the first scene, when they're transported to the building. And then they break down the doors, and then the action sequence starts. And it seems like, okay, this movie's going somewhere. This is good. But somehow they fucked this up too.
Yeah.
We can't sit here and watch this movie and say, there's something worth watching because Wolverine accomplishes this or reaches this. I mean, he leaves the squad, he rejoins them, leaves again, only to eventually fight the team at the very end.
Now, where's Victor?
And this whole time, they're trying to amass. Well, Stryker's trying to put together a super mutant. Okay, a super mutant to eliminate all other mutants, amassing all these powers, and
try to do it with Deadpool.
Yeah, they take Logan's healing ability,
John Wraith's teleportation ability,
and
Sabretooth's Cyclops'
vision. Yeah, his laser vision. That's right.
Cyclops.
Which is, I forget
Cyclops
that part. I
vision.
mean, that's literally like I remember seeing, spoiler alert, seeing the final scene of the movie, and then what the fuck is Deadpool doing, shooting lasers out of his eyes like Cyclops?
Wait, is that you? Stryker finally figured out how to shut you up.
It's like, it's just,
and Baraka blades, man. What's up with that?
Yeah, he did have the blades coming out of his arms.
Mortal
Like
Kombat
that's
shit.
It's just anyway. It's
not the Deadpool we know and love. That wisecracking Deadpool.
We're jumping.
Come on,
but
he doesn't even have a mouth.
Exactly, he gets his mouth sewn shut. He gets his mouth sewn shut. I can't even talk. This fucking movie's got me all tongue twisted.
Just don't watch this movie.
Okay, you know what? The last fight with Deadpool, although it had all those twisted,
at least the choreography was somewhat good with them jumping around and him teleporting back and
forth. The fight was cool. I'm complaining about the character of Deadpool at the end, what they turn him into. But you know what? It's an origins. It's a side story. So ultimately, who gives a fuck, right? It doesn't really matter because it's just an origin story.
And finally has been erased out of...
Erased out of continuity. That's right. But is there anything that saves this movie, like, at all?
Well, maybe at least a little little section we get to see with Gambit in there.
Very true.
It kind of redeems itself a little bit.
But the thing is, the character, just the looks. Right?
Doesn't look like.
I mean, up to this point, every X-Men movie has showed some semblance of the character that we know. But Gambit is just not. I mean, Taylor Kitsch does a good job, I think,
with making the accent a little bit.
Okay, even then, I'll admit it. It's kind of goofy, but I forgive it because I like the actor, and he's trying to bring gravitas to the character, but it just was it the director? I don't know. That's just it, you guys. Like, there's little. It's like you want to say, cool. It had Gambit in it. It had Deadpool, but the characters were portrayed in a really bad fashion. It didn't do justice to them. It almost feels like they were given the free reins to throw in any character they wanted to, and they said, let's throw in all these cool characters, but they don't spend enough time with them.
Spider-Man 3 is what they did.
Basically. Ultimately, this movie just doesn't know where it's going, and because of that, it just gets really difficult to enjoy it, I think.
So what would you rate it?
You know, honestly, I'm just going to give this movie a D.
You know, I was going to be nice and give it a C, but now after all that talk, I'm going to have to give it a D as well.
I mean, look, if you want to torture yourself for a couple hours, put it on, make up your own mind by any means, by all means, because it's just one of those movies that you have to see to believe the fact that Fox really did fuck up with this movie. It's kind of a universal thing. It's not subjective. It's completely objective. It's just the movie is not cohesive in a way that it could have been. It could have been such a good movie, and they didn't even have to do too much with it. Just, hey, this is Wolverine. This is who he was before. You know him in the X-Men.
Let's see them fight with Deadpool. And
yeah, a couple of cool fights, and we got a movie. But it just, they switch it around too much. So, we give it a D. All right, guys. What do you think? Please share with us your thoughts on this movie. We would love to talk about something that we may have missed. I mean, honestly, I keep watching this movie just hoping that I'll like it, but
it gets worse each time.
Every time. But maybe you have something to say that'll change my mind about it. Let us know. Like, share, and subscribe, guys, please. And also, don't forget, we have the reviews to the first 3 X-Men movies, First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse in the links in the description below. We will be reviewing The Wolverine, and this will culminate with our review of of Logan when it comes out. So keep an eye out for that in the future. All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.